I'm at the studios of KALW with Landon Goodwin. He is featured in the new documentary Dogtown Redemption, which gives a voice to people who recycle in West Oakland. You've seen them on the streets pushing shopping carts, overflowing with bags. They're going through trash cans to find cans, bottles, and metals. And Landon, I feel like I know you because you shared so much with Amir Sultani, the co-producer of the film. This film really does an amazing job of humanizing the people that most of us see but never bother to talk to. Is that why you took part in this film?
Originally, Amir just came up and asked if he can interview me, and I just said okay. I didn't know where this was going. But over the time, we became very personal with one another, and I realized it was actually something that was actually happening to bring a voice and a face to people that are faceless and voiceless. So it took on a life of itself, and it grew legs, and it just took on, grew wings, and it flew. So, yeah.
You have an amazing story, well, amazing stories in the film about recycling yourself, reconnecting with your family, trying to turn your life around, and now you live in Vallejo, you work in a recycling center, and as a pastor, you work with the homeless. And you said something that really struck me. There's so much love at that recycling center. In many cases, there's more love there than the love you feel in, well, this world. What is it like for you to go back to the recycling center and reconnect with the people that you used to work alongside with?
Well, it's like anybody in the family. You always want to see your family do well. Anybody, any member of your family, you want them to do well. You don't want them to be in chaos and destruction. So I have a heart for the people there. I've spent years and years and years. We've argued. We've slept in some horrendous places together. We've worked together. We've conversated. We embrace one another. So they're like family, and I don't want to see anyone left in that condition. One of the things that happened when I left out, I was kind of afraid that I would never see them again and miss them, but my heart said go back and embrace them some more. So there is a lot of love there because uh, people are dismissed. A lot of people don't have their families anymore. Um, a lot of people, there's several older people who don't been disconnected from their family for years and years and years, like I was. For over 17 years, I was away from my family, and because of this film, it gave me a chance to think about my life. And now I'm reconnected with my whole family and everything else like that. So I really do appreciate Amir. When he came up, I didn't know what was going to happen,
Hmm.
but it's great.
Well, and that's the other thing is that everybody has a story, and a lot of the stories are pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that we don't really talk about when we talk about the homeless problem, right?
Well, yeah. I've always said that there's as many reasons why people are homeless or in whatever condition they're in as there are the people who are in it. So everyone has a different story. There are some things that are similar, synonymous with one another. There's some things that go along with each other. They're kind of congruent. But there's always the individual. There's always the uniqueness that caused the person to be there. There are people who are homeless out there who had the propensity to be doctors, lawyers, or whatever, and ended up in that condition. There are people whose families from this outgate, from the start, just were in poverty. So it's just systematic poverty that's going on there.
You have said that when you travel back to Oakland to reconnect with people who are really struggling to survive in deep, deep poverty, a lot of them want help, but they don't have anywhere to go.
And all spirits, there are good and there are bad, there are evil, there are loving, they're just a whole spectrum of that. Um, but people are reaching out; they really want help. Now, of course, there are some who do not want help and can't do anything about that. But there are people. Whenever I go back, they always ask me, "Do you have a place? Do you have a program? Do you have a home? Do you have a center that we could come to? Can you bring me up out of here?" And for a while, when I was at a place called People Excellence, we had a place, but when that place closed down, well, I didn't have any place to bring them, and I'm hoping for that I provided one day with the provisions and to get a home to help people, male and female, in the center, to for people to come and get information, to clean up, to eat, and to rest, or to whatever they need. I want to minister to people's needs, but I don't have the facility. So it's really tough when you go down there and you could talk, you could pray, you can embrace, you could feed, and you could do all this, but you have nowhere to take them because when you leave them, they're still there.
Yeah, and you've also said that a lot of these soup kitchens, while they're doing really important work and they're actually growing across the Bay Area, it's just such a temporary solution.
That's all it is. It's a Band-Aid over a gaping wound, and we need to spend more time trying to figure out how to get a solution to this. We have property that's just abandoned all over the world, all over the United States, all over West Oak, just abandoned property, not doing anything but being dilapidating, you know. But it comes down to economics, or it comes down to people who care. So how many people actually care about somebody to go out and say, listen, I'm going to try to help you, and I have the means to do so. But most people, they just want to know what they can get out of it. You know, loving people and caring about people and helping people just don't seem to be enough for them.
What got you to reach out to family and just ultimately decide to get off the streets? What was it?
Wow. I don't think I ever lost that value that I had put on myself. I always say it's something about what you think about yourself, your self-worth. And the whole time I was out there, I knew that I really didn't value myself pushing a shopping cart or sleeping in dirt or eating out of dumpsters or being unkept and unshaving. Because and then when Amir came around and I was just watching him and looking at him and saying, you know, I should be doing the same type of things. My life should be headed in the same direction that his is, you know. And so I started looking at, do I really value myself as a drug addict? Do I really value myself as pushing a shopping cart? My whole subsistence in life is on that shopping cart. Do I value myself sleeping on the freeway? Is that what I figure I'm worth? And somebody said it's time to do something about it.
Landon Goodwin is one of the recyclers featured in the documentary Dogtown Redemption. It gives a voice to the voiceless, really. It's people who are recycling in West Oakland. They are searching through trash cans to simply survive. And I hope you can see this documentary. It premieres tonight, Thursday at 5 o'clock at the Mill Valley Film Festival. You can also find more information under this film, under this video, and Amir Sultani is the producer and co-director of Dogtown Redemption, and we'll also put a link to the Hour radio show that we just did. Landon, thank you so much.
May I give them a phone number?
Please.
My phone number is 707-655-2519. If you have any ideas or solutions, call me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Landon.